today, and he gathered really interesting stuff out there. So Mwangi, what was your story about?
Well, sometimes this week I was just walking around, I would say, in Nairobi metropolitan area, and therefore I met this young man. I saw him selling some ornaments, beaded stuff, some necklaces, some wristbands, and I noticed that this man had cerebral palsy, and I just inquired. I wanted to know much about him, what he does, where he comes from, because he told me he comes from Juja, and I met him at Lower Kabeto. I was like, how do you come from Juja to Lower Kabeto on a daily basis to sell your ornaments? And I thought that these are very good vibes. This is a young man who knows his stuff, he knows what he's doing. He's an encouragement to the society and to the people living with disabilities. And today I paid him a visit and filed the following report.
Without a doubt, it's a good vibe story. Now, cerebral palsy is a disease that affects a person when they're infants due to delayed delivery. Now, most of the children with cerebral palsy face a myriad of problems, and they have to be given special attention. For one, Kelvin Karega Muchiri, the situation is different. He is a talented artist in beadwork and is an encouragement to many, as Mwangi Maina found out.
At their home in Juja, Kiambu County, meet Kelvin Karega Muchiri, a young man born with cerebral palsy 23 years ago. He displays his artwork, beautiful beaded items including handbags, wristbands, necklaces and other decorations, all made with his own hands.
Naitwa Cerebral palsy. Hiyo cerebral palsy tulikuwa twins. Moja kawa sawa, nikakosa shida.
Owing to his health condition, he could not go to school and was taken to a vocational center where he learned the skills of beadwork.
Sikuanza capital but my mother ni offer took na capital ya 1,000.
Ulianza na 1,000 ulinunua nini na nini?
Kibeti. Na bibska packet mbili makasi hivyo vile unaweza.
Despite his disability, he fully depends on himself, and to some extent he provides livelihood to his family.
Kuna watu kaa sisi wako pale juu ya flyover nipe na sio kubeta kwake. Kwa huyo mtu Mungu amsaidie, amuonyeshe njia ya maisha.
He traverses different markets within Kiambu County to sell his wares on a daily basis.
Sunday ndio napumzika. Okay, Monday naenda huku Ruaka banana. Tuesday naingia Kiambu. Wednesday naenda Wangige. Na Lower Kabeto tulipatana. Naenda hata hapo Dubai. Thursday likuwa jana. Naenda Githunguri na kwa Michael na huko. Friday saa leo narudia Kiambu.
He says some look down on him, disparage and even belittle him.
Mtu anaweza kuja kuambia na mashida zake. Na wewe unataka nini? Toka hapa. Woni tunaongea. Labda huyo mtu akona hasira zake ama hajawahi mtoto kama huyo. Wengine wananiambia sijui uko na shida, pengine mama yako akukupeleka pewa sindano ya polio. Unaona vitu kama hizo.
Despite the challenges he faces, he says giving up has never occurred to him.
Natomeka na jua, kuanguka, kunyeshewa, hata saa zingine kukinyesha. Ndio niache kwenda Limuru, nilikuwa nafika mvua inaanza. Na ujue mchanga ya huko ni mbaya hata kushinda hapa.
His mother says her biggest assignment is to encourage his son as well as supporting him in all his efforts.
Nakumbuka akiwa primary watu walikuwa namwambia wewe utaishi special class miaka yako yote na hakuna mahali utaenda. Lakini sasa mahali amefika, hata watu sasa wanamuona, sasa wanaona hata wengine amewashida, wale walikuwa nasoma na wale walikuwa namchekelea akiwa kwa shule. Sasa namwambia hata watu siku moja Mungu atakuja atakubariki hata wataamini ni wewe.
She says at times she's worried of his safety and well-being, especially when nightfall finds him on the road.
Sasa yote nasida nikimpigia simu namuuliza umefika wapi? Usikae, usichelewe kwa sababu akienda kama Kabete anapitiaga Nairobi. Na unajua Nairobi vile iko. Hata sasa kufuka kwa barabara hata mimi namuuliza nakuwa na wasu hata sitakaki kuimagine vile nafuka barabara. Kwa sababu mimi namwambianga apite hiyo ya Kiambu kwa sababu najua hiyo ni Nissan tu atapada imweke hapa kwa stage hivyo, lakini Nairobi naona anatoka huko Koja.
She calls on anybody who might help him open a curio shop to reduce the long journeys to different markets. Here is the advice Kevin has to fellow people living with disabilities.
Wasijidharau na kama wako kwa nyumba, ambieni mzazi ama wazazi, wacha atoke nje, aonekane, watamteka. Hata wakimteka, sisi tunaambia wako, tulizaliwa tukiwa hivi tu mfano, na wale kucheka ni wajui, hawajui, lakini mimi ni baraka kwa hili.
It is now time to move out and sell his wares. Kevin is headed to Kiambu Market, where he plans to spend the rest of his day. He is hopeful that the day will bring good tidings. His smile covers a myriad of challenges he faces on a daily basis. He is a young man to be admired by many.
Kelvin Muchiri is an epitome to people living with disabilities that amidst all the problems they face, they can become self-reliant. The wristband I'm having on my arm is an exemplification of what he does. Mwangi Maina, TV 47 from Juja, Kiambu County.
Indeed, a very inspirational story there by Mwangi Maina. Mwangi, I'm just trying to imagine some of the things this man had, some of the challenges he's had to overcome, in his work. And it's really, really interesting, and just the talent. And I remember, I think last week, but when we had a similar story of a disabled person as well, who was going out of their way to, make a living through such means. So Mwangi, how did you come up with this story, and where did you meet him?
Mumbi, before Mwangi actually even comments on the story, I've had a tongue twister in that story. How do we even say the name of the disease that the young man has?
It's cerebral.
It's cerebral.
Because I'm thinking some of us will struggle
especially Mwangi and I
I'm not the one who said that, by the way. Let's put that on record.
Right.
Well, I think, Tim, to let you know that as I was having a conversation with this man on Wednesday, we were moving from Lower Kabete to Nairobi, and he was sharing his life story. I want to tell you guys that I teared down because his story was such an inspiring one. I couldn't imagine what he was doing, working, traveling kilometers and kilometers away just to look for a livelihood. And you see, this man is a man living with a serious disability, but he says, well, disability is not inability. I can provide for myself, can provide for my family. And he really, really challenged me. And I'm like, if this is just one man with such a condition and somebody just probably a numb tundo haifanyi kazi, the man is borrowing in the streets of Nairobi. And I think it's a vibe. We have a lot to learn from Kevin.
Right.
We have a lot to learn from him and to emulate him, because he said, as I said, he's an epitome to many people living with disabilities. I didn't come just like that. This wristband here written my name.
But of
he made
course,
it for me. He made it for me in just a matter of less than 30 minutes, you can imagine. So this man has talent.
I think the last time I was on set with Mwangi, I asked, what is the next thing you're going to come
He's
back
always getting goodies from these people. Mwangi, what's the deal?
No, Mwangi.
It's all about good vibes, with good vibes. It's all about
my last week's story was about body bags. I don't know if I should have come back with the one. I don't know. I mean, following from Mwangi.
Well, I think Mwangi, you bought it. He didn't give you for free.
Of course, I did promote him. I have to promote him, of course.
Well, but I think it's a true reflection of disabilities, not inability.
Sure.
Right.
It's a moving story, very inspiring. I think someone should learn from this.
Right, really, really inspirational. You can imagine somebody with, all the organs working, and they're just maybe laying in bed, saying, I'm jobless, I can't do anything.
Sure.
And this is a man who's, you know, with a disability, going out of his way. I mean, it's really,
and
really
that young man is only 23 years old, and from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way to Saturday, he has a schedule of the different markets that he visits. Like today he was going to Kiambu town, and it's many kilometers away from where he's staying. So I think thumbs up to Kelvin, and we can only tell him to continue doing what he's doing.
And can I also add this? It's just not an impressive thing that he's doing. The products are actually really, really good. Mwangi showed me the wristband in the office, and I was really impressed.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Mwangi Maina, for that story. Now.